Hey bookworms, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. I'm Sam, and in today's video we will be talking about authors who have the potential of becoming new favourites, to be sitting up there with the likes of Colleen Hoover, Kristen Hanna and Holly Jackson. All three of these authors have had 3 or more books that I have given 5 stars, which officially make them favourite, who have got that crown and can be proud that they have made it to the favourite list. Before we jump into the authors that I've put my faith in, that I believe will make it, let's talk about the authors who already have 3 or more books that are 5 stars. Starting off with Kristen Hanna. So Kristen Hanna I have read 3 books by, and all 3 books have been given 5 stars. There's something about Kristen Hanna's writing that just pulls you in and completely shatters you at the same time. She's the only author that has made me ugly cry with all 3 of her books, and if I read one that didn't make me cry, I think I'd be kind of disappointed. She's kind of the author that you go to because you want to get your heart broken, but also she teaches you about such important things in history, and she just has a way of her writing that just draws you in. Then we have Holly Jackson. I don't feel like this is much of a surprise. I feel like most people can say Holly Jackson is a favourite author of theirs because of her Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I have now read 4 books by this author, 3 of them being 5 stars, and this may shock you because one of the books I gave 5 stars a lot of people might disagree with. So of course I gave her Good Girl's Guide to Murder and the second book in the series 5 stars. I thought they were absolutely brilliant. I loved that I could never work out what's going on. Her writing is just amazing. The last book in that series I did give a 4 stars to, simply because I did kind of guess it, where her other books I never could guess what was going on. So, you know, still really good, but with a 4 star. The third one that I gave 5 stars to was 5 to 5, which is her newest release, which has got mixed reviews. Some people hate it, some people don't. You know, they love it. But I was pulled in from the beginning, and I loved the whole setting, just being in the camper fan, RV, whatever you want to call it, and not knowing who's out there wanting to snipe the people in the camper van. I can understand why some people don't like this book. It can feel a bit like rushed, and I guess like maybe they found it predictable. For me, I don't feel like it's rushed. I love that it's set over a certain time period, like over I think it was 8 hours or something, and I don't know, it was like a little countdown as well. For me, I felt like that just made it more and more intense. I loved the way the characters were written, and I just generally really enjoyed it, so yeah. Next up is Colleen Hoover. I mean, is that shocking? Is it surprising? Maybe, considering that I was never going to jump on the train that is Colleen Hoover and read her books until last year, and now she's on the favourite list. I have read probably the most books for this one, and that is 5 books by this author, 4 of them being 5 stars. I love the fact that Colleen Hoover can write romance but make it contemporary. She can add real life situations in, and just, I don't know, she hooks you. She's really good at just hooking you into her stories and making you love her characters. For an example, It Ends With Us. That was one of the books that I was never going to read, and I picked it up for a video, read it, and it's now one of those books that will forever have a place in my heart. I absolutely love the characters, and for those of you who don't know which book I'm talking about, It Ends With Us, Atlas and Poppy are 2 characters I adore. So yeah, those are the authors that are already up there, wearing the crown, proud to be favourites. But now let's jump into the authors that I think have the potential. So these authors could be joining them. We will see. The first one is an author that I'm sure every single person here knows about, and I don't feel like this is really surprising that is on this list. If you've been watching my videos, you know I love this author's books, and we're going to find out very, very soon if this author will be joining them, because he has a new book coming out, I believe on the 25th of this month, and that author is TJ Klune. I mean, come on. I knew straight away that this author has potential. I have loved both books that I've read, House Cerulean Sea and Under a Smooth Door. TJ Klune writes light fantasy books that tackle difficult situations, like Under a Smooth Door tackles like death and what happens after, and he makes it really easy to digest. His writing just makes you feel really warm and cozy. It's sort of the books that you can wrap a blanket around yourself and just binge. I feel like his books are definitely binge worthy, and he never fails to make you love the characters and just become so attached to the story and said characters. Like in this book, it was one of the books I was never going to read, and then I read it, and I remember remembering how much these characters actually meant to me. Oh my god. So yeah, I've already gave 2 of his books 5 stars. If the next book that comes out, Life of Puppets, I put that there, ends up being a 5 star, then he is joining us. Next up is an author I am sure most of you already given more than 3 5 stars to. Most of you can see her and say she's already up there with that crown, proud to be a favourite, and that is Taylor Jenkins Reid. So this is actually the first book I read by this author that I did not expect to love, but I did. I got pulled into the world of fame surrounding our character Evelyn and her story and learning about her 7 husbands, but just something was just really intriguing about the way it is written. I love the fact that she's telling her story for the first time, and ever since then I've read, I think, 3 books by her, and 2 of them have been 4 stars. So there's been this one, and then One True Love. And just the whole concept of if the love of your life died, and then you've moved on eventually, which rightfully so, and then that person comes back, what would you do? It's brilliant. I have read Maybe the Never Lives, that was a 4 star, so it wasn't quite a 5 star, but I do believe that she has massive potential of becoming a new favourite. I mean, I have a bunch of her books I could read at any time, which we then know. So yeah. Next author, some of you may not have heard about too much because she's relatively new. She brought her debut novel out last year, and then she brought a new one out this year, and that is Stacy Willingham. So I read her first book and I loved it. I wasn't expecting to love it because I saw some negative reviews about it, and then I read this one recently, like days ago, and it was a 5 star. Now with this author, she does something that is just, she writes mystery thrillers, but she does it so well. It's never predictable, and when you do think you figured it out, you're completely wrong, because there's a twist and then there's another twist, and just the way it all gets revealed is just perfect. It never feels rushed. It always feels like it's paced really, really well, and the characters just always feel really real, and her chapters are always short as well, so it really feels like you're getting through the book really, really fast. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like if you've not read her books, you should definitely pick them up if you enjoy thrillers / maybe a little bit of mystery. I really, really want her to bring out enough books so I can read it, but I got a feeling I'm going to be waiting till next year. Next up is an author that I hope it's going to become a new favourite, just because I loved her series, and she's definitely not like a favourite to most people. I believe that a lot of people have actually disliked this series. This series is either you hate it or you love it. It's got negative reviews, it's got positive reviews, it's got in-between reviews, and that is The Serpent and Dove series by Shelby Mahon. I'm just going to show you guys. So there's her name here. Now, I've read all 3 of her books for this series, and originally I gave the second book a 5 stars, but then I did bump it down to 4. So I've read 3 of her books, and 2 of them have been 5 stars. 1 has been a 4 star. This one and the last book in the series were 5 stars. They were, oh my god, like chef's kiss, absolutely perfection. I encourage people to read this series. I know a lot of people have been put off though because of bad reviews. No, this is so good. You can even go and check out my review for the series. It's got some spoilers, but I do give a warning. And I just feel like this author has potential, massive potential, because I love the way she writes. I love her characters and her world, and I'm so sad that this is over, but she also just knows how to shock you with some of the stuff that she does in her books. She has got a new book coming out which is set in the same world, but we are following different characters, which is called The Secret Sale. So I guess if that's a 5 star, this is joining the others. The final book on this list is probably the one that has the least 5 stars, meaning I've only read 2 books by this author, and only one of them got 5 stars, but there's something about this author that I really do have faith in, that she can eventually rise and have more, and that is Beth OLeary. I feel like most people love Beth OLeary. I did read Flatshare, by the way, and did not like it. I didn't like the style of it's written. It felt like it was 2 different authors writing one person's chapter to another, and the one person's chapter was just so badly written, like grammarly, felt like it was awful. So I've read this one, and I read The Road Trip. The Road Trip I gave 4 stars to, absolutely loved it. But this book has stayed with me since the moment I read it, and I want to read it back so badly. If you haven't already checked out my reading vlog, because I actually did one for this, non-spoilers, then go check it out because you'll see my reaction to this book. But why I think Beth OLeary could be a favourite, when I've only actually technically read 1 book that's 5 stars, you're probably thinking. And it's just because this book was so well written that she thought every single detail. She planned it out to a T. Like, she planned it out so perfectly that when it comes together, you're just kind of like mind blown. I was absolutely shocked. I was shook. Okay, so that happens in this book that shook me, that I was like not prepared for. But it's just brilliantly thought out, and it's proof that when an author can sit down and plan it perfectly from like each chapter, everything that she wants to then make sense, it came out, oh my god, like you sit there and think, oh my god, that makes sense so much, that's just perfect. And this book is what that is. This book is perfection. I believe and I have faith that she really is going to be like up there eventually. She has a new book coming out this year, which I'm going to be getting, and let's just pray that she gets another 5 stars, because that gives her one more book closer to making it up with the crown. I was going to mention one more book, but I'm going to mention it. Okay, technically this book I've only got 1 5-star for, but then Beth OLeary only has 1 5-star for. Now this is the only book I've read by this author, and I feel like I've talked about it to you guys 1,000 times, and that is Only a Monster by Vanessa Lynn. I really believe that Vanessa Lynn could become a favourite simply because of this one book. Her second book comes out for this book very soon, and I am, oh my god, I am praying that it's going to be a 5-star, because I just want this series to be 5 stars, be perfection, not let me down. If it's even a 4-star, I will be slightly disappointed, but just solely based on this one and how much I loved it, and how much I loved the time travel aspect of it, and the historical fiction part of it, the fantasy part of it, the characters. Ugh! I know I can't wait for the sequel, and if that's a 5-star, then again, like Beth OLeary, it's climbing up that ladder to become a new favourite. I don't know if there's going to be another book in a series after the second one, or if she's going to be writing something new, but either way, I'm going to be picking it up anyway. So that's all the authors that I think have potential of rising to become favourites, to wear that crown and be proud. Let me know if any of these are your favourites, or just let me know in the comments what book you've given 3 or more 5 stars to. Which authors are your favourite? Is there any you think that will be my favourite based on what I've talked about today? Let me know. And if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, bye!